in 1976, the height of the Cold War. A time of intense political tension and paranoia between two superpowers, the United States and the Soviet Union. But in a remote corner of the Ukrainian countryside, something extraordinary was taking place, something so astonishing that it would take decades to come to light. Picture this: an enormous radar array hidden deep within a heavily guarded military base, its true purpose shrouded in secrecy. It's not just any radar system. It's the Soviet Duga Over-the-Horizon Radar, also known by its ominous NATO codename, Steelyard. This behemoth spanned nearly 150 meters tall and 800 meters wide, a colossal structure that dwarfed anything the West had ever seen. But why all the secrecy? Why build such an enormous and complex system in a clandestine location, cut off from the rest of the world? The official story was that it was a cutting-edge early warning radar system designed to detect intercontinental ballistic missiles launched from the United States. However, rumors began to swirl among Western intelligence agencies and ham radio enthusiasts that there was something far more sinister at play. These whispers spoke of a top-secret mind control array, capable of influencing the thoughts and behaviors of millions of people across vast distances. And it was all being orchestrated from this mysterious radar installation in Ukraine. While these claims seemed outlandish, they were impossible to ignore. After all, this was the height of the Cold War, a time when both the United States and Soviet Union were exploring every possible avenue in their quest for dominance, including psychological warfare and mind control. The first clues that something unusual was happening at the Duga site began to emerge in the late 1970s and early 1980s. Ham radio operators across Europe and North America reported hearing strange, pulsing signals emanating from somewhere in the Soviet Union. These signals were powerful enough to disrupt legitimate broadcasts and communications, causing widespread confusion and frustration. As these reports mounted, Western intelligence agencies took notice. They began to investigate the source of these mysterious transmissions, which led them straight to the Duga radar facility. While they couldn't yet prove that the Soviets were using the site for mind control, they did discover something equally alarming. The radar system was far more advanced than anyone had suspected. The Duga array was not just a simple early warning system, it was an incredibly sophisticated piece of technology capable of transmitting powerful signals across vast distances. And while there was no definitive evidence that these signals were being used for mind control, the possibility couldn't be ruled out entirely. As tensions between the superpowers continued to escalate throughout the 1980s, so too did the intensity and frequency of the Duga transmissions. It wasn't until the fall of the Soviet Union in 1991 that the truth about the Steelyard began to emerge. With the veil of secrecy lifted, former Soviet scientists and military personnel started to come forward with their stories, shedding new light on the true nature of the Duga radar. And while many of these accounts remain shrouded in mystery, there is one thing we know for certain. The Soviet Duga Over-the-Horizon Radar was a marvel of engineering and a testament to the ingenuity of the human mind. But as for whether it was ever used as a secret mind control array, that question may never be fully answered. The mystery continues. In the late 1960s, the height of the Cold War, tensions between the United States and the Soviet Union were at an all-time high. Amidst this climate of fear and suspicion, the Soviet Union began construction on a top-secret project that would push the boundaries of what was thought possible with radio wave technology, the Duga Over-the-Horizon Radar. Officially known as Duga 3, this colossal array was built by the state-owned defense contractor, Gorky Radio Engineering Institute, under the direction of renowned scientist Viktor Ivanovich Grabovoy. The project's primary purpose was to detect incoming ballistic missiles from incredible distances, providing precious seconds for Soviet leadership to react and protect their citizens. However, there were whispers that the Duga radar served another clandestine function as a mind control weapon. These rumors stemmed from an unusual side effect. Powerful radio signals emitted by the array interfered with shortwave radios worldwide, earning it the nickname Russian woodpecker due to its rapid, rhythmic tapping noise. While some dismissed these disruptions as mere technical glitches, others speculated about more nefarious uses for this unyielding barrage of radio waves. To understand these allegations, we must delve into the realm of psychotronic research, which explores potential interactions between consciousness and technology. During the Cold War, both the United States and the Soviet Union invested heavily in such studies, exploring everything from telepathy to brainwashing. Within this context, it is plausible that the Soviet Union may have pursued mind control capabilities through radio wave manipulation. Yet, no concrete evidence has ever emerged linking the Duga radar to mind control efforts. The majority of information regarding these claims comes from declassified documents and testimonies from former Soviet scientists, many of whom remain tight-lipped about specifics due to non-disclosure agreements or fear of reprisal. Still, certain details surrounding the Duga project raise intriguing questions. For instance, why did the Soviet Union construct not one but 3 separate Duga arrays in different locations throughout its territory? And why were these facilities shrouded in such secrecy, with access restricted to only the highest levels of military personnel? Furthermore, the involvement of key players like Grabovoy and GSRI suggests a deep commitment to advancing radio wave technology at any cost. Both men were decorated scientists who made significant contributions to their field. However, they also had ties to shadowy organizations within the Soviet government known for conducting unorthodox scientific research. Ultimately, the truth behind the Soviet Duga radar remains elusive, obscured by layers of Cold War intrigue and classified information. While we may never know if it was truly used as a secret mind control array, its legacy as an engineering marvel and symbol of human ingenuity persists, offering tantalizing glimpses into what could have been possible during this era of unprecedented technological growth. The Soviet Duga radar, an engineering titan of its time, was officially a part of the early warning system against potential missile attacks. However, whispers of its alternative use as a mind control array have never fully ceased. To understand these rumors, we must delve into the science behind over-the-horizon radar and the alleged psychotronic technology. Over-the-horizon radar, like the Soviet Duga, operates on the principles of skywave propagation. This means it sends out a low-frequency radio wave that bounces off the ionosphere, returning to Earth at vast distances, enabling detection of objects beyond the visual horizon. The first operational OTH system was developed in the United States in the 1960s, but the Soviets quickly followed suit with their Duga arrays. The Duga 3 array, located near Chernobyl, became infamous for its eerie repetitive tapping noise, dubbed the Russian woodpecker by Western listeners. Its dual-ridge antenna, standing at 50 meters tall and spanning 500 meters wide, was an awe-inspiring sight. Yet, it was not just its size that made it unique. It operated at lower frequencies than any other OTH radar before it. Now enters the controversy: psychotronic technology. This term refers to hypothetical methods of controlling or influencing human behavior using radiation, electromagnetic fields, or gravitational waves. While no concrete evidence supports the existence of such technology, some Soviet scientists reportedly explored this area in the 1970s and 1980s under the shroud of secrecy. Dr. Igor Smirnov, a Soviet scientist who later moved to the United States, claimed to have developed a method using low-frequency radio waves to influence brain activity, which he called metasomatosis. In theory, this could allow for broadcasting specific messages or emotions directly into people's minds. However, there remains no empirical evidence supporting these claims, and they are largely dismissed by the scientific community. Despite this, the Duga radar's unusual design and operations have fueled speculations. It utilized a staggering 100 megawatts of power, far more than necessary for mere radar purposes. Some believe this excess energy could have been used to test psychotronic technologies. Moreover, its location near Chernobyl, a hotbed of Soviet scientific experimentation, only adds fuel to the fire. However, without concrete evidence, we cannot definitively state that the Duga radar was used for mind control. Its role as an OTH radar system is undeniable, showcasing the remarkable engineering capabilities of the Soviet Union. But as with many tales from the Cold War era, facts are intertwined with rumors, leaving us in a labyrinth of unanswered questions and intriguing possibilities. In the dense Ukrainian forest, the colossal Soviet Duga radar system stood silent and enigmatic. Its failure inexplicably coincided with a series of bizarre occurrences that continue to mystify experts worldwide. The first incident occurred on July 3, 1976, when the over-the-horizon radar suddenly emitted an intense shortwave radio burst. This powerful signal, lasting for approximately 2 minutes, jammed frequencies across Europe, affecting aviation and emergency services communications. The Soviet Union initially remained silent, attributing no comment to this unexplained event. The second instance unfolded on January 4, 1982. Termed the Squawk Box incident, Duga transmitted a continuous series of numbers in Morse code for over 5 minutes. The message, allegedly decoded by amateur radio operators, read, "Hey buddies, let's knock it off, no more hacks." Despite persistent attempts to verify the authenticity and origin of this transmission, no definitive conclusions were drawn. The Kremlin, characteristically tight-lipped about its military installations, never acknowledged these peculiar anomalies publicly. However, their silence spoke volumes. In response to international pressure, especially from Western powers, they initiated a phased decommissioning of the Duga network between 1982 and 1989. The diplomatic consequences were profound. Accusations of deliberate disruption of communication networks further strained the already tense relations between the Soviet Union and the West during the Cold War era. The lack of transparency surrounding these incidents fueled speculations about possible military or psychological warfare experiments, ultimately contributing to the climate of fear and mistrust. Yet, even as the Duga radar systems were dismantled, questions lingered. Was it truly a sophisticated OTH radar, or did it serve another clandestine purpose? If indeed used for mind control, why did its operations cease abruptly in 1982, well before the fall of the Soviet Union? Despite extensive research and investigations, definitive answers remain elusive. The classified nature of military projects during the Cold War era continues to obscure truths beneath layers of secrecy. Today, all that remains are rusting towers swallowed by the Ukrainian wilderness, whispering tales of a bygone era marked by paranoia and technological prowess. As we tread cautiously into an age where technology threatens to overshadow humanity itself, reflecting on past mysteries like the Soviet Duga radar becomes increasingly important. It serves as a stark reminder of how little we know about our own creations and their potential implications. Perhaps unraveling this enigma could shed light not only on our technological history, but also guide us towards responsible innovation in the future. As we delve deeper into the enigma of the Soviet Duga Radar, a troubling narrative of secrecy and subterfuge begins to emerge. Declassified documents and eyewitness accounts point towards an intricate web of cover-ups that extend beyond the simple explanation of a Cold War early warning system. The Duga array, also known as Russian woodpecker, due to its distinctive tapping noise heard on shortwave radio frequencies worldwide, was officially claimed by the Soviet Union to be part of an over-the-horizon radar network designed for missile detection. However, many aspects of this project remain shrouded in mystery, leading some to speculate about its true purpose. One such mystery is the sheer scale and cost of the Duga system. Built at a time when the Soviet economy was struggling, the construction of these massive installations represented a significant investment. The size, complexity, and expense raise questions about whether such an endeavor could have been justified solely for military reconnaissance purposes. Furthermore, there are numerous reports of unusual phenomena associated with the Duga sites. These include claims of physical effects on individuals near the arrays, such as headaches and nausea, along with stories of electronic interference disrupting telecommunications and broadcast signals far from the radar's location. Some former Soviet citizens even report experiencing unexplained psychological disturbances during the operation of these facilities. Intriguingly, amidst this fog of uncertainty, whispers of a more sinister application for the Duga system have surfaced. Rumors persist that the Soviet Union may have explored the use of the radar as a tool for mind control or psychological warfare. While no concrete evidence has been found to support these claims, they cannot be entirely dismissed given the climate of fear and mistrust during the Cold War era. Adding fuel to this fire, declassified CIA documents reveal that American intelligence agencies were well aware of the Duga system's existence and potential capabilities. In a 1976 report, the CIA noted that the Duga system is believed to have been developed and operated by the Soviet KGB, suggesting possible involvement of the secret police in its development and deployment. Despite these intriguing clues, many questions about the Soviet Duga radar remain unanswered. Its true purpose, whether it be missile detection, psychological manipulation, or something else entirely, remains a subject of debate among historians, scientists, and conspiracy theorists alike. As we continue to probe the depths of this mystery, one thing is clear. The story of the Soviet Duga radar serves as a cautionary tale about the potential consequences of unchecked technological ambition and the importance of transparency in scientific research. As we delve deeper into the enigma of the Soviet Duga radar, many questions linger. Was it truly an instrument for weather manipulation or a tool for mind control? Or was it merely a massive early warning system, as its creators claim? The answers remain elusive, shrouded in the secrecy that once cloaked its very existence. The Duga array, located near Chernobyl, stood silent after the collapse of the Soviet Union. Its abandonment was not due to exposure or failure, but because it became obsolete with the advent of satellite technology. Today, it stands as a haunting relic of a bygone era, slowly being reclaimed by nature in the exclusion zone. The scientific community has made strides in understanding the principles behind electromagnetic pulse effects on human health since the Duga's operation. However, the specific impact of such intense radiation on cognitive functions remains largely unexplored. This gap leaves room for speculation about the potential psychological effects proposed by some theories surrounding the Duga. Moreover, the idea of using over-the-horizon radar like Duga for weather manipulation is not entirely far-fetched. Modern research explores radio frequency energy's ability to affect atmospheric conditions, albeit on a smaller scale and with different methods than those rumored to have been used by the Soviets. Despite these advancements, much about the Duga radar remains unknown or classified. Its blueprints, operational details, and even some photographs remain inaccessible to this day. The Russian government has yet to fully disclose information regarding the Duga project, leaving historians, scientists, and conspiracy theorists guessing. What we do know is that the Duga radar represents a significant milestone in technological development. It serves as a stark reminder of the potential consequences when scientific research operates behind closed doors, driven by ambition without regard for ethical considerations or transparency. The legacy of the Soviet Duga radar lingers not only as an imposing structure in the Ukrainian wilderness, but also as an unresolved question mark in the annals of scientific history. Its secrets may never be fully revealed, perpetuating its allure and adding to the intrigue surrounding it. As we turn our gaze away from the desolate ruins of the Duga array, one thing is certain: the mysteries it holds are as captivating as they are unsettling. And perhaps that's part of its enduring charm, a testament to human curiosity and the allure of the unknown. After all, some questions are more compelling when left unanswered. And so, we leave you with this thought: amidst the shadows of what we know lies the twilight zone of what we don't. In the case of the Soviet Duga radar, maybe that's where the real truth resides.